Hello one and all. This is my review and cut discussion of The Weakest Tamer Begins Journey to Pick Up Trash, episode 12. And I'm so excited for this. I've absolutely loved this series. I really do wish I could have covered it more, but I've just been so busy these last few months preparing to do my PhD defense, which I unfortunately failed, so yeah, I probably should have spent that time making videos anyway. Oh well, you live, you learn. Anyway though, I absolutely adore this. I mean, I love light novel, and the anime has been honestly a fascinating experience to watch because it is probably one of the most unfaithfully faithful or faithfully unfaithful adaptations I've ever seen. I mean, seriously, so much was cut out, so much was rearranged, so much was done differently, but it still managed to really get at the heart of the series, still managed to really capture so much what I love, and in some ways even improved it. I mean, okay, so basically the first light novel, this anime is basically two light novels, but the first light novel is just Ivy setting traps in the woods over and over and over again. And I find that so hilarious. They cut out so much of that because I saw so many comments from people online basically saying like, oh, they're trying to be too faithful to the source material. That's why the series is going so slow. It's like, no, dude, they cut out so much and they sped up so much of this. It's actually insane. Then some other changes we had. Oh, the mercenaries, the bounty hunters, who were chasing after Ivy. That was, all brand new. That certainly wasn't in the light novel, but I really did like it as it managed to, basically light a fire under Ivy and, like, really give a motivation for her being so desperate to run as far away as she could. I mean, yes, her family is awful and the village was trying to kill her, but the bounty hunters chasing her really put some added pressure on her and really upped the stakes. I really did like that. Oh, and then there was when Ivy actually met the Avenging Party, Flaming Sword, and Thunder, whatever. That was almost entirely anime original. I mean, seriously, in the light novel and manga, Ivy just kind of walks into them in the woods, whereas in the anime, there's this whole epic battle against ogres, which I thought was a really cool way of showing off, exactly what high-level adventurers can actually do, because, yeah, this series has very few fights. And I had absolutely no idea what the power scale actually was, just based off of the light novel. I do have a bit of an issue, though, because, that one ogre actually managed to, get Ciel over the cliff, which, no, absolutely not. Ciel is a monster, and there is no way an ogre could have taken her down in any way, shape, or forms. That ticked off a lot of light novel readers, I will say that. And then finally, this last episode, they gave Mila a redemption, which, what the heck? I mean, seriously, in a light novel, Mila is a very flat character. She's just, evil. She cares about her brothers a little bit, but she is overall evil. There's not this whole thing where her brothers are like, dissing her because, oh, you're just a tamer who can only pick up trash, blah, 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 blah. No, they're all, like, in cahoots. They're all on the same page, so yeah, making her actually, regret her actions, making her actually form a real bond with Ivy was all new, and I absolutely love it. I mean, seriously, after Mila's arrest light novel, she is never mentioned again. It's like, alright, they arrested her. That's it, moving on. But actually, giving her some real motivation, giving her some real character. I'm just so excited to see what they do with her in this final episode. And quite frankly, there are a lot of other scenes I'm so hoping they include here because they are just so absolutely amazing. Love this series. I'm really hoping we get an announcement for a second season at the end of it. Right, let's get started in 3, 2, 1. Oh, right, other thing I wanted to mention, the other big change with the anime is the fact that other me, the past self Ivy has, is nowhere near this active in the light novel. I mean, the anime, they're like having full conversations back and forth. The light novel, Ivy just like kind of remembers words like, what's a fax machine? Why do I know how to cook with food like this? That's weird. She knows there's a past self, but she doesn't really know anything about it. And the past self isn't nearly as sentient as it is in the anime. That was a really interesting change because, this is a big issue I think most light novel adaptations have. Most of a light novel is a character's thoughts, their thinking, them trying to reason, what's going on here? What's happening? Why is this the case? And so when they adapt it, they either need to have like these long monologues where a character just says what they're thinking, or have like internal dialogue. But having Ivy's past self being able to converse with her really allowed Ivy to monologue without feeling forced. I really did like that. Yeah, Ivy is just way too freaking humble. Like, seriously, without Sora, this organization would not have been stopped. They just tried to kill the captain and vice captain of the guard. If they had done that, they would have owned the city, and there's literally nothing anybody else could have done to stop them. Ivy is a freaking hero. I mean, mostly Sora, but also Ivy as well. Oh yeah, I was gonna say, does Ivy even know how to read? But yeah, the fortune teller must have taught her how to read, obviously. I mean, the fortune teller actually gave her, I don't think it's shown in the anime, but in the light novel, the fortune teller gave her a bunch of books about monsters, setting traps, all of that, so that she could actually, survive when she eventually went on this journey. And also while she was living in the woods, trying to avoid being killed by her family. Well, not trying to avoid, but after being shunned by her family. Okay, you see, that's where it becomes an issue. Relatives of the royal family were involved in this child trafficking organization. At that point, you either have a situation where the royal family sweeps it all under the rug and even, silences the investigators to save face, or they have to absolutely go full force and eradicate every trace of this to clear their own names. Oh yeah, the reward! Jesus God above. Oh, this is gonna be fun. 10 gold tablets. Please tell me Ivy's gonna imagine this with rat math. 150 ladle. Oh, Ivy. Okay, you're pretty much set for quite a while right now. Here we go, rat math. $150,000 field mice worth of gold. I love it. I was so hoping for this. Just good freaking God above. That's insane. Enough food for her to survive for 140 years. Yeah, Ivy, like I said, you're set for quite a while. That being said, I should probably point out that winter housing, because everyone needs to bunker down, winter rolls around, is actually crazy expensive, so she can't actually survive for 140 years. She needs to be able to, get a hotel room, get a place to stay for the winter. I guess she could actually buy a house with that and just stay there, but you know what I'm saying. Also, love this opening, just seriously. Starts off with Ivy being like, when I'm alone, I can breathe, I'm free, I don't have to worry about the people around me trying to murder me. But then, gets to her being optimistic, having hope, and then we finally get to the ending, the end song. It's like, hey, actually, life's pretty good, I have people. Huzzah! Love it, absolutely love it. Oh God. Oh God, I love this. I absolutely love this. I mean, I've actually said before, this series reminds me a lot of Made in Abyss. We have, a little girl who is very knowledgeable about the world, about monsters, about everything in it, and is literally trying to survive when every single thing could kill her. Her very strange companion with powers nobody really seems to understand, and the fluffy one! Adorable, absolutely adorable. Yeah, like I said, a lot of the first light novel, and the second one a bit too, is just Ivy setting traps. It's just what she does, even though she just got so much freaking money. I mean, like I said before, winter is incredibly expensive, so Ivy's trying to, not eat too much into her savings right now. Of course, going out into the woods when there's still, a massive crackdown of criminals might not be the best move. And I hope it's not, because if so, we are about to get one of my favorite scenes in this entire freaking series. Oh, I love Ciel. It's been so long since we've seen her. And again, like I said before, there is no way on God's green earth Ciel would have lost in a fight against those ogres. It just would not have happened. Oh, she's so pretty. She's so precious. I love her. So fluffy. Okay, not a fan of hunting, but I do love Ciel's method. Basically scaring the animals into Ivy's traps. Essentially, Ivy feels bad when Ciel hunts for her, because it's like, no, I should get my own food, I should do my own thing. Ciel, you need to focus on yourself. So this is like a fair compromise they come up with. Ciel scares the animals into the traps, and Ivy still feels like she did something. Yeah, this is another thing. I mean, like I said, Ivy's always hunting the light novel. Butchers absolutely love her. Her meat is fresh, it's wrapped properly, it's good quality. It is absolute perfection. And very few people actually hunt with traps anymore. They prefer to chase and swing, use magic, whatever, and that actually damages the meat. Whereas Ivy's traps allow her to kill them very cleanly. Again, I'm not a fan of hunting, but I am a fan of how precise Ivy is. I'm a fan of anyone who does something really well and knows how to do it well, is basically what I'm saying. Yeah, in case people forgot, it was Ivy's birthday like 3-4 days ago, and now they're having a big feast to celebrate. Also, one thing I'm actually disappointed with the anime, in the light novel, when Ivy's like, wait a minute. Oh yeah, today's my birthday! Everyone had this huge reaction like, what? Whereas in the anime, there's like, oh hey, congratulations. A little disappointed there, honestly. Oh, I love this table. Absolutely love this big round table. Like, yes, we are sitting at the seat of honor here. It's also kind of funny because nobody except people at this table actually know what Ivy did. They're like, yeah, there was a kid involved in it somehow. I guess she was bait. That's kind of weird. Or I guess he was kind of bait. That's weird. But is that really enough for him to sit at the main table? None of us would insist on observing etiquette anyway. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, if you're dining with adventurers, you have to know they are a wild, rambunctious group who are gonna, just eat whatever is in front of them. I mean, it might seem like a lot of food, but it's also important to acknowledge, I mean, for one, these are adventurers, big, brawling men who eat a lot. And secondly, Ivy is so small for her age because of just how overwhelmingly malnourished she was when she was kicked out of the house. So, yeah, they are absolutely right. She needs to eat way more than she is right now. Just, not that much. Oh, that is beautiful. So the man is literally spilling every secret he has about every ally he has. Oh, absolutely perfect. What's the old adage? Don't fear a smart enemy, fear a dumb ally. Good lord. He has so many there's so much he knows. Jesus Christ. I actually feel bad for the dude who has to write down all these crimes. Oh, Mila, awesome. Like I said, Mila did not have any sort of redemption whatsoever in the light novel, so I'm excited to see what they actually do with her here. Aww. Oh, God. I'm so glad I won't to commit any more crimes now. Oh, God, Mila. I mean, I love they're adding more depth to her, but this is just such a tragic character. Someone forced to make crimes by her brothers. You know, they kept saying, oh, we're going to do this. Oh, you don't have any say. Oh, you're just a garbage collector. Over and over again. And now she's, ironically, finally set free from all of that.
組織を裏切り兄を止めたこともあって情状酌量の余地もあるみたいだ。そうですか。王都のギルマスからうちに霊と愚痴の
Okay, so in terms of lenience, that's actually a really good question because as far as I can tell, the literal only punishment this world has is slavery. If you're incurring too much debt, you're made a slave. If you commit heinous crimes, you're made a slave. The only real question is the condition of the slavery and the length of the slavery. So, you know, if you run out of money, you have to work as a debt slave for a few years. That's, you know, pretty light work. I mean, the person who owns you can't really abuse you. They must make sure your basic needs are met. All of this. Whereas if you're a criminal slave, you're basically put into hard labor for the rest of your life until you die, and you're not allowed to kill yourself. So, I don't know. It's a question of exactly what's going to happen to Mila. Probably still slavery, but maybe not, you know, hard labor slavery. That'd be nice, I guess. As nice a situation as she can actually, you know, experience at this point. I mean, who knows? Maybe she'll actually get someone who puts her to good work doing charity or helping people or doing something that lets her atone for her sins a little bit. That would be a satisfying ending for her character. I mean, heck, Ivy now has 150 gold tablets. She could actually buy her. Oh, that'd be a very strange turn of events. Oh, so, yeah, maybe you should have talked to Ivy about Sora before revealing him. I mean, that's like a really big thing for her, like keeping Sora a secret, and you spilled the beans after promising not to. That's kind of a jerk move right there. Also kind of important to acknowledge, they're talking, I don't think there's a sound dampening device here, but they're talking about Sora, like, literally right next to a bunch of other feasting soldiers and adventurers. That's a little bit weird. Love Sora, absolutely love Sora. Again, there are other adventures and everything literally right next to you. Be a bit more cautious, Ivy. Love this creepy pervert in the background as everyone's just admiring how awesome Sora is. Love you, Sora. Absolutely love you. Yeah, this is the whole thing in light novel. I actually looked into, I don't know if adopting is the right word, but essentially taking custody of her and making sure that she's safe, protected, all of that, making sure that she is, you know, on paper, in the eyes of the law, legally their child, more or less. Ivy really does trust this fortune teller. She's like, yeah, you're gonna go like all the way to the royal capital. Ivy's like, alright, guess I have to do that. I know I've made just like a bunch of friends here and all these strong men are willing to protect me for literally the rest of my life. I have enough money to live comfortably, but, you know, I'm gonna listen to her and keep going. I mean, that loyalty is insane, but also does make sense. I mean, the fortune teller literally saved her life when everyone else abandoned her, and literally died because of it. I'm kind of wondering if they're gonna go with an anime original ending here, because I really just feel like Ivy's gonna stay, and Ivy is very much not supposed to stay. Okay, is she actually... Oh, this is gonna be interesting. This is gonna be really interesting. Okay! Holy mother of God above, this is This is different. This is very different. In the light novel, the only one she told was the orange-haired guy, who very clearly told her, never say that to anybody ever again. At which point I realized, oh, okay, being starless actually is an issue. I thought it was just, some weird superstition in her home village, but no, it seems to be a thing everywhere the church is. I'm so confused about what's going to happen next.
私のスキルは星なしのテイマーなんです。ずっとここまで逃げてきました。
Oh, I love Sora just being so sad as Ivy tells this story. It's adorable.
私なんです。
Yep, like I said, light novel, she only told this dude right here, orange-haired guy, whose name I could not remember.
そうか。よく頑張ったね。
There we go. There we go right there. Somebody actually telling Ivy, it's okay, we don't mind your starless, we love you even though that, because of that, we love you despite that, we love you, it doesn't matter to us all, we just love you, it's okay for you to actually exist in this world. And that is what she needs, but more than anything else, that is what she needs to hear.
今まで辛かっただろ。かわいそうに。そんな境遇でへこたれなかったな。強かったな。
Oh god, I love it. I absolutely love it. Oh, yes, yes, yes. I mean, there's definitely a change, but I love it so much. I love just the affirmation Ivy's getting here, being told it's okay to be who she is. That her existence is not a sin. Yes, she very clearly does not want people to know. That should be obvious. You're saying that. You're like, oh, no one's going to talk about it. There are people right next to you. There is no sound dampener being used. This is a very weirdly arranged scene. Okay, her deciding to leave here is weird after literally everybody accepted her, but I mean, that is what the fortune teller told her to do. She actually said, stay with people you trust, if not, then keep going, so I don't know, her decision process has always been a little bit weird here.
どうして？ここに住むんじゃないの？今までの旅は逃げるための旅でした。もう逃げない。私、星なしでも大丈夫。
Good for you, Ivy. Absolutely good for you. I mean, honestly, this is a pretty satisfying ending for this season. Really hoping for a second one, but still satisfying. I mean, you literally have a slime that can detect lies and a giant cat that can kill almost anything. You have the guaranteeing of 2 different guild masters and 2 different cities who are willing to basically die for you. You have a lot, Ivy. You absolutely have a lot. Did you seriously just steal Sora from Ivy's hands? Oh my god, that is... This dude is weird. This dude is so weird. God. Ivy's face right here. That is peak adorableness. That is absolutely peak adorableness. This is what they call happiness. It's been so long, Ivy literally forgot. Oh god, love Sora. Absolutely love Sora. Alright, I think they're actually going to take out one of my favorite scenes, which is very disappointing. Also, in the light novel, the feast, one of the feasts at least, was for Ivy to celebrate her birthday. I thought that's what that was. Apparently not. Apparently they just let this little girl's birthday pass without barely a mention. So sad. Also, they're still saying he. Ivy's like, yes, I'm starless, that's my big secret. And then feel like mentioning, oh, by the way, I'm also a girl? I mean, I think in the light novel, most of these people had already figured it out by this point, but I don't know. Kind of weird here. Maybe they're still calling him her, him, because that's how he identifies, more or less, to keep himself safe, keep herself safe. Becomes confusing. Yeah, oh god, I love that twirl. That was adorable. But yeah, at this point, Ivy gets a lot of new magical bags, which are so much better and so much easier to work with. I mean, seriously, remember a few episodes back when she like went through the garbage dump and like, okay, these ones go in here, these go in here, these go in here, and literally spent like an hour organizing them. Well, now she has like 4 actual magical bags that actually shrink things down, make them weigh less, and are just so much easier to use. There we go. Okay, I'm actually not sure this is confirmed, not before, but it's good we actually get like a real explanation right here. Essentially, the disintegration slime, essentially Sora, is so overwhelmingly weak that if you try to tame it, just like giving it the magic to tame it, will kill it. Therefore, literally the only person in the entire world who could tame a disintegration slime is Ivy, because she has so little magic. Yes, that's such a big thing. I mean, literally the title of the series, The Weakest Tamer begins the journey to pick up trash. That's not just about, going through garbage dumps, getting bits and bobs here and there. It's literally about finding things that people consider to be trash, like a disintegration slime who was on the verge of dying, like Ciel who was on the verge of dying, finding them, fixing them, and just making them shine, turning them into treasures. Oh, there we go! Jesus Christ. You gotta be kidding me. That's how they're doing this scene? Seriously? Oh my god. Okay, so just to clarify, in the light novel, Ivy's actually attacked by remnants of the organization while she's out setting up traps, and everybody rushes in to save her, only to find Ciel and Hera, an incredibly dangerous, powerful monster, standing over her, having already kicked everyone else's butt. They are terrified, and Ivy's like, what's everyone so afraid of? Oh, Ciel? She's a big cat. And of course, the weird pervert dude just absolutely loves Ciel and wants to pet her, and everyone is just utterly flabbergasted why Ivy managed to tame and end Hera despite having no stars. Oh, that actually is how you pronounce it? Andalika. Andalika. I would not have guessed that. Oh. Absolutely love Ciel. I really do feel like I need to mention this, but obviously Ivy wouldn't take out both Sora and Ciel this close to town. They're both, like super secrets, and they're not the kind of thing she should be, showing off on a public road. Especially not this close to a town's walls. Just saying. Some very interesting choices going on here. I have no stars, but a lot of friends. Love it. Is there something... Again, the ending. You are not alone. Just fits so well with the opening, but it does seem like there's something more here. So is this just Sora's backstory then? Sora seeing everyone else, be a regular slime, going off, being happy, being free, being able to move, while he himself was abandoned because he was so weak and helpless and essentially starless. Oh, so there were their disintegration slimes near Sora. They aren't actually all that rare. They just die so quickly, nobody ever sees them. Oh my god, this is actually heartbreaking. How is Sora's backstory almost sadder than Ivy's? Okay, that was a really weird choice for a post-credit scene. I mean, I get they're trying to say, like, oh, you know, Sora went through so much as, like, Ivy did to eventually find her la-di-da, but just weird, very, very weird. I assume they would, like, hint at the next season, or they talk about the village again, or do something, but this is interesting. Not really sure. Okay, so one other thing I want to mention before talking about the review is that in the light novel, the mentoring party saw Ciel and instantly realized, hey, she is like really, really small. I know she's a giant cat's us, but for the Undaka race? I can't pronounce that. For them, she's actually considered the runt of the litter, and therefore it is very likely the reason why she was so badly wounded when Sora first found her, when Ivy and Sora first found her, was because her own parents had, you know, literally beaten her half to death so that she wouldn't, you know, slow them down anymore. Meaning Ciel is, in fact, just like Ivy, someone abandoned by her parents, someone who was thrown away as trash, who Ivy managed to find some use out of. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of use out of Ciel, but her parents didn't see it. Love that detail. Like I said, the series is literally about Ivy picking up trash. So, okay, Ivy got a whole bunch of money and got to a nice fancy victory party, and actually told everyone the truth about herself. Holy mother of God, that is unexpected. I mean, like you said, light novel she only told the red-haired dude, and he accepted her, but he very clearly said, don't tell anyone else about this. This is actually, in fact, a really big deal, and if the church finds out, that might be some, you know, that might be an issue. So, everyone accepting her, everyone telling her that's okay to be herself, that's okay to be starless, they love her, even with this, they don't care about this. It's just so amazing. It was so great for her growth. And it really just helped inspire her to keep moving on, to start the next step of her journey, to find out what there is out in this big, wide world that she can actually do to broaden her perspective, just like the fortune teller told her to do. And even though she finally found people who are willing to actually accept her despite everything, she is still, you know, wants to follow those orders. She still wants to go on this journey. And I'm really hoping we see more of it. I mean, personally, I think this whole investigating the criminal organization thing is one of the better parts of this series. And what comes next 3 volumes are kind of slow, but I think in in anime format, they could really, you know, move a lot faster and tell a really compelling story. I mean, overall, this entire season has done such a great job of just rearranging things, cutting down things, removing complex elements, just to tell a much clearer and more interesting story. I mean, oh god above. In the light novel, there's this whole weird thing where I remember, like the town watch, like, oh, we have to go deal with a cave full of ogres. No, in the light novel, it was a cave full of escaped convicts that the organization had gathered up and stuck in the cave so they could go crazy and create a distraction so they could break back into their own building, which, why? Why would you add so much complexity to that? And just like the anime was just so much easier to follow. I think it was a much better start to the series. And like I said, I was really hoping we had a second season. Also, how about some spoiler time? For anyone who wants to know what happened to Ivy's village, please keep listening. For anyone who doesn't, thanks for watching, and have a great day. Alright, so anyway, at the end of the first light novel, it's revealed that the village is essentially dead. Basically, they relied on the fortune teller to tell them when to harvest the food, harvest this fruit that is like the lifeblood of the village, and without her, they didn't know when to harvest it. There's like a really, really small window, like one day, and they don't really know when that window is, so yeah, most of it was awful, most of it couldn't be harvested. It was basically cut down to like 20% of a regular harvest, and at that point, a lot of people saw the writing on the walls and realized, hey, our leader is kind of, our village elder, our chief, whatever, is kind of like a cult leader, And I'm really concerned about everyone, like his loyalists are just like so obedient to him. So I think we should make a run for it. And so they did. And so the chief decided to do something insane and basically put out an order to every town saying, hey, if you find my villagers, they owe me a bunch of money, which is just super illegal. Maybe not illegal, but just super, super unethical. And as a result, both the Merchants Guild and the Adventurers Guild essentially said the village was dead. They were an unreliable trading partner and nobody should ever go there. At which point, even the chief's own wife escaped to get away from him. So yeah, they all suffered a lot. Huzzah! But anyway, though, please let me think down below. Watching the series, if you read the anime, if you read the light novel, what do you think of this as an adaptation? Do you think we're going to get a second season? And if so, how are they going to cover some of the elements? If you're new to this series, what do you think of Ivy? What do you think of Sora? What do you think of Ciel? What do you think of this whole wild, insane journey? Please let me think down below. And until next time, peace!